Okay, I've got another talk, and that's also with regards to shrivel. But there we looked at a different angle to shrivel. Our main aim, and this is basically firstly to scan plum cultivars for the CO2 sensitivity. Like we all heard, moisture loss and shrivel is a concern in the industry. High relative humidity in the supply chain reduce that VPT deficit and obviously protect the fruit against moisture loss and the consequent shrivel. And closing the vents on a shipping container may increase the relative humidity and limit shrivel. So this is why we conducted this research. The risk, obviously, of fruit respiration may escalate the CO2 levels to extent that can damage the plums in transit. So work done by Arie de Kock, my predecessor, he looked at Fortunes and September Yummies, and that was done in 2019. And he saw that they were not sensitive to increased CO2 levels, and that was levels up to 6%. And it actually improved the maintenance of the flesh firmness of these cultivars, and it decreased the internal disorders. So our objective was to determine the CO2 sensitivity of 4 single temperature plums in conducting realistic CO2 threshold values that will not damage the plum quality. If the cultivar exhibits CO2 sensitivity, it will be replaced by another cultivar the following season. The fruit were packed for export, and that was sourced from commercial pack houses. There we looked at Ruby Sun, Ruby Star, African Light, and Angelinos. We had an untreated control that was just normal, relative regular atmosphere. And then we had 3 treatments after that, where we did 2%, 4%, and 6% CO2, and obviously the balance were oxygen, O2. In this case, we did a 7-day regular atmosphere, so that's basically accumulation period, and then we followed that by 20-day modified atmosphere at minus 0.5, and then we took the fruit out again at a regular atmosphere for another 15 days at minus 0.5 to make a total of 6 weeks. In the Ruby Suns, this is just an example of the flesh firmness that were maintained or by the 4% and 6% CO2, and you had lower fresh firmness at regular atmosphere. And then you can clearly see that we managed at that 6%, we reduced, had no shrivel at that stage. Also, with the 4%, we also had no internal browning. If we look at the Angelino plums, how do I go back? There weren't big significant differences with that cultivar, so it just shows you that there's no negative effect on the fruit with the elevated CO2 levels. So just a conclusion that the higher CO2 levels gave good flesh firmness retention of Ruby Sun and low shrivel after the shelf life period with non-significant elevated internal browning. There was one that actually picked up. With Angelinos, there were no sensitivity to the elevated CO2 levels, but the aerated tissue were a bit of an issue with that batch of fruit. In the case of African Delight, expect a significantly higher skin cracks after the shelf life at the highest CO2 concentration, and the increased CO2 levels had otherwise no negative effect on the quality of the fruit, and there was actually a reduction in shrivel and aerated tissue with this elevated CO2. So Ruby Star consistently exhibited sensitivity to the elevated CO2, so this will not be a suitable cultivar to use this elevated CO2. This research over 3 years indicated that Ruby Suns, Angelinos, and the African Lights show promise for export in shipping containers with closed vents, if the CO2 does not exceed the 6%. I also know that there is some of the shipping liners do have a system to monitor this, and we will look in the future to actually find an exporter willing to do a trial in this regard to see if we can do this successfully. All right, thank you.